Well, I'm here with Matt Gray, or should I say I'm here with the gaffer, the new man in the Eastbourne Borough dugout. To start, tell us a bit about your journey so far for the fans who might not be familiar with your game.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. It's just obviously everyone's dream to try and be a professional footballer and play in FA Cup finals and win league trophies and be a top international player, and that was certainly my dream from a young age. And thankfully, I managed to be a schoolboy at Arsenal, and then I had an apprenticeship at Tottenham, a pro at Cardiff. But six operations in 6 years between 19 and 25 sort of put pay to my dreams of what you set out to be. And I then led into 12 years, assistant manager at different clubs, Eastleigh, Aldershot, Crawley. So I certainly did my apprenticeship in the dugout and on the training ground before getting my chance in 2019 to get my first manager's job at Sutton United.
Come out of Sutton now into your second managerial job here at Eastbourne Borough. This is becoming the next step in your journey. What is it about Eastbourne that made you want to take on the role?
The potential, really, and the good people that I've managed to have conversations with this week. I left Sutton back in December, 18 months ago, and Eastbourne, to be honest, were the first club to pick up the phone and see what I was up to. Literally a week after I'd left in that January, first week of January, I had a conversation with Simon and Alan, and I was really impressed with what they were, their vision and their goal for what they wanted to achieve at Eastbourne Borough. So I just didn't feel it was right for me, not just with Eastbourne, with any club, to be honest. At the time, Sutton took it really out of me for 4.5 years of what we achieved there, and I just needed that little bit of break and a little bit of respite to recharge. So it was nothing on Eastbourne at the time, but then this last season, I've had several offers and different opportunities, but the timing's just right with this, and then this week having conversations with Simon and Alan. I've been really impressed with both them and the football club, the facilities, and the huge potential, and I'm excited to be on board.
And you talk about that potential. What is it about this club that brings such potential? Is it the setup, the structure, the personnel?
Well, you straight away you walk in, and the size of the area and how much room there is, and the room for expansion and the plans that they've got, and it was really interesting to see and hear all what is they, the vision of the club moving forward, and then actually the facilities they've got here in place at the moment, the catchment area, the club, the way it's moved and progressed on a good season last year, and now I just want to come in and keep moving that progression in the right way and deliver some success here.
You talk about success there. You saw success at Sutton. You won the National League. You got promoted through that season. EFL Trophy final as well. A really successful tenure. What does success look like here at Eastbourne Borough for you?
Well, as a manager, obviously cup competitions you want to be successful in, and we managed to have that EFL Trophy run and an amazing day out at Wembley and coming so close and being 2-1 up in the 97th minute. Some unbelievable memories and what cup competitions can bring for you, but the league is what you do get judged on, and trying to get promotions and win league titles, and that's what we're involved in it for. Every manager, every player, coach, supporters, that's what you want to see is success. Now, that doesn't happen overnight, and it certainly, is everyone, all 24 league teams will be looking to try and do exactly the same. But success here, with the potential and the fan base and the infrastructure here, is just try and get up to that next level. And I've managed to be successful in my first job, and of course I'm coming here to try and bring that in my second job too.
So, to put it more bluntly, the aim for this season is to go up.
Yeah, of course, and like I said, it would be for everyone else. The aim is to improve and build a real squad here that one day we can get up, and of course I want that to happen as like anyone else, as quick as we possibly can, and we'll be trying our hardest to make that happen this season, of course. But if it has to be a little bit of a building block to instill your ideas and your mentality and your recruitment into your squad, but yeah, of course the aim this season will be to try and get promoted for sure.
And I wanted to ask about, in that 4 years at Sutton, being your first job, there must have been a lot of lessons you learnt. Are you excited coming in here in the sense that those lessons have already been learnt? You come with those ideas already instilled upon you, and you can make your stamp on the team probably a lot quicker.
Well, and that's the advantage of having that little breather and time out to reflect. With my assistant Jason Gulliffe, we was meeting every week, once a week, and looking, of course, at things we might change or slightly do different, and lessons we've learned. But also, you can't go away from the success we had, and also dumb down and reiterate what made you so successful and what we did so well. So you've got to really keep looking at the positives of what went right for us, how I'd tweak and change certain things. I've been fortunate enough to go and look at many different managers' work and different levels and pick up ideas, and yeah, that's why this summer I'm excited and chomping at the bit to get back into pre-season and get back working again.
You mentioned Jason there, who, as I understand, you're bringing with you to this club, keeping him on as your assistant. Was that the easiest decision out of this whole situation?
Well, I wasn't going to go anywhere without him, to be honest. He's such a good guy and a great person to have in and around the place, let alone his knowledge of the game, of players as well as coaching and tactically. And you don't want your assistant to be 100%, on the same beliefs as you, but he is virtually there, so that he does question on and test you sometimes and ask you questions. But when I first got my first managerial job at Sutton, he was the first signing that I wanted to make, and he was my best signing as well. So we've done so well together. We certainly come as a pair. So to bring him down here with me as well, we're really looking forward to working here together.
With you two in the dugout, I wanted to ask then, what does a team under your management look like in terms of physicality and style of play and the sort of talent ID?
A real flexibility, I believe, certainly at these levels, from lower football leagues into the national leagues. You've got to go and play on all different types of pitches and all different conditions on Mondays and Saturdays and Tuesday nights, bank holiday Mondays. There's such a variety within your 46 game season that you have to be able to do to go and keep churning results out. So there is a real flexibility within a team that I like to produce, but foremost a nucleus of organisation and hard to beat, to then spin that around to really find ways to hurt teams in what we feel we can exploit their weaknesses and be on the front foot, be aggressive. And I just want to see goal mouth action at the right end of the pitch as many times in the game as I possibly can.
Well, looking at starting to build that team then, I'm sure you'll be eager to get that retain list done and out there as soon as possible. But I wanted to ask, is there any players that you already have an idea that you want to keep on who you're quite excited to work with?
Well, I'm going to speak to Alan and go through the squad as well. But of course, I've been watching games of all levels, and I've managed to see Eastbourne a couple of times this season, as well as other teams in this league, and your knowledge of players of all levels. So I've come across some of these players before in opposition, when they've been in the opposition, and looked at them quite closely in the past. So it'd be probably unfair to go and single out one or two names as such, but there's a good squad here, some really good players here, and I'm just looking forward to maybe adding to that and bringing some new fresh faces to work with the current good quality that we've got already here at Eastbourne, and can't wait for pre-season to start.
You talk about your familiarity with the levels in England, so you must have a good idea of this league already, and I imagine you've already started to look at the other teams and thinking about how you can beat them.
Well, I also look at this league personally, and I think, the depth of English football. English football's the produces the best pyramid of leagues in the whole world. And now you look at the strength and depth here of the sixth tier of English football, and the amount of budget and finances and backing that there is in there, and the amount of full-time teams that are now in this division. And for me, knowing this level really well for many, many years, this is going to be the hardest division, hardest national south that there's ever been, with some of the size of the clubs coming down, as well as the quality coming up into it as well, let alone the ones that are already here. So it's make no bones about it, it's going to be a really tough, competitive season with some really big clubs, ex-league clubs, big crowds, big grounds. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying to be successful in it.
Well, just finally, the fans, the Red Army, they'll be very excited to welcome you into the dugout, and I'm sure you'll be very excited to meet them. Is there one message you want to give to them ahead of your tenure at Eastbourne Borough?
Well, it's an obvious answer, but they're just such a huge part of building. It says we wouldn't be here without the supporters, would we? And home and away, Saturday afternoons, Tuesday nights, as I already said, their support is going to be invaluable, and I look forward to doing a fans forum, getting to meet them after games. I'm always available. I'm a very approachable manager and look to have that strong connection with them. And I'm pleased to be here, and I'm just looking forward to meeting them in person and seeing those pre-season games, and obviously for the first game of the season. There's really exciting times here, and I know they've bought into it, as have I, and I can't wait to get going with them.